Mike with TechPB, and as a lot of people have seen, WDP Angel Paintball Sports has started to make a push into the scenario market. And they just recently came out with the ARC. I've actually got one of their new prototype barrels here, which has got the Apex tip on it. And something that we're going to do really quick is we're going to install the Angel Tactical Stock Kit. And let's go ahead and set the Angel aside. Now the Angel that we're going to install this on, these are limited edition Angels made just for TechPB, all dust black. And I'm putting like a CP reg on there and stuff like that, but these are all completely 100% dust black Angels, which is kind of cool because what they use on the picture is an all dust black Angel, but when you look on their website you can't buy it. So anyway, let's go ahead and take it apart, and we'll slide this off and set it aside. And let's take a look and see what we got inside the box here. So we've got an instruction manual, which is going to come in handy, so we'll set that aside. And then looks like we got the stock. We've got this little spacer plate, which is going to go in between the frame and the body. Then we've got two rails on the side. Then we've got the stock adapter, and we also have another ASA port for the regulator. Now, something that I'm kind of excited about with this is, for me, for TechPB, is these rails here are going to kind of give me some sort of an ability, and obviously I've got to mess with this. I haven't installed one of these yet. But the possibility of mounting a camera and screwing a camera directly into the side of the marker. So if I can actually do that, and as we get closer towards installing this, if I can actually get to the point where I can do that, where I can take, which is essentially a speedball marker, and screw a camera directly into the side of it, it's going to make filming out there really, really easy. So let's go ahead and remove the barrel. And it's bedtime for my lady, so you might hear a baby or two in the background. And we're just going to lighten up the marker as much as we possibly can. I always want to remove, as especially reg, especially the barrel. Just makes it a lot easier to get in and around the marker. And obviously, Angel, you're going to want to get yourself a nice metric Allen key set. Now I'll show you something that I do with my Allen keys. They sell these Allen key sets in the at Home Depot and stuff like that. But if you want a tip, obviously, if these all come out, you never know which is which. But what I do is I'll take a silver Sharpie or one of those silver pens that you can buy like in the arts and crafts store or something like that. And then what I do is I just take it and I make a bunch of lines on my metric ones. So I know that my metric ones are the ones that have got the zebra stripes, and my standard ones are the ones without it. So that might help a little bit, if you purchase an Angel or you purchase a gun that uses metric Allen keys, that might be a nice little tip so you know the difference, because until I started doing this, I'd always get them screwed up. Okay, now what we have to do here is we need to start removing or prep the gun to remove the grip frame. So let's go ahead and unscrew the grip. And there's just basically 3 screws. Now what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to pop loose the solenoid wire and also the 2 eye ribbon wires. So here's the solenoid wire that comes out, and let's go ahead and unscrew the eye ribbons. Now this board that's in here is a Virtue board, but the stock board, pretty close to the same, just still 3 wires you have to unscrew. Let's go ahead and pop the battery out. There we go. And I do that trick, and I want to share that with you really quick, is anytime I go, especially with 9 volts, it's very easy if you try to rip them apart like that for you to pull this out. So what you just want to do is take an Allen key, stick it in between the 9 volt and the connector, and if you just twist up, it pops it right off, and you're not putting any stress on your wires or anything like that. And now let's go ahead and start unscrewing the grip frame. Now from here you don't have to worry too much, because the only things that are going to pop out of here is the trigger, and then there's like a trigger plate that holds the trigger down. So let's just go ahead and start unscrewing this. So I'm kind of curious how this works. A lot of times with my videos I'll actually pre-install something first just to test it out, make sure it works okay, and I kind of get the hang of it. I actually haven't even done that with this yet, so you're going to install it with me for the first time. Oh yeah, my girls do not do bedtime at all. They're little party animals. There they go. There they go. I don't know, do little baby girls, they screech like that? Is that normal? Or is that something I might have to take them to the doctor for? Now they're calling for me. So everybody always says you got to do more videos. You got to do more videos on the kitchen counter. Well, every time I do it, this is what happens. I know I'm paying attention to paintball guns and I'm not paying attention to them. It makes them very angry. So let's go ahead and remove the ASA. Okay, so there we moved the ASA, and then now what I believe we have to do is we need to take the track here, got the plate out, the spacer plate. Let's go ahead and install it. Now on the spacer plate, you've got a hole here that the solenoid wire is going to go through, and then you've got a slit here where the eye wires are going to go through. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, at first glance, when you first look at it, you're going to think that you don't know which way to orientate this plate. But actually, when you take a look at it, you'll see that it makes sense. It's got the pins that are inside the body, that are sticking up out of the body that you use to remove like the RAM and stuff like that. You'll see, and then it's also got the magnets here, knowing that that's going to be facing against the trigger. So there we go. So we got the plate in place. Now what we're going to do is let's go ahead and install the trigger frame. Now what you have to do here is there is the kit comes with longer screws. Okay, so let's go ahead and put in the longer screws that are basically going to go in between, that are going to go through the grip frame, through the spacer plate, and into the body, and it's going to press it all together. Okay, so now that we've gotten this all tightened down, now what we want to do is let's go ahead and plug in the eye wires. Now there's plenty of slack to plug in the eye wires here. The problem is when you have big fingers, it's kind of hard to do. There we go. Okay, then we plug in the solenoid wire, and that goes. Now it's always a good idea at this point, let's go ahead and plug the battery in and let's just test it out. Don't want to get to the point where you have everything all put together and then realize that you have a pinched eye wire or something like that. So, okay, as you see, the eyes are working, so looks like everything's okay. Another nice little thing that you can sometimes do is you can kind of wiggle the wire a little bit, just like press it forward and press it in. If you feel it really tight, then obviously you know you caught on something, so, or you might have a pinch, but I always recommend doing that before you tighten everything down. So now that we've got that in place, let's go ahead and install the ASA. Let's go ahead and start installing the stock. Now at first glance it looks like the stock is just kind of attached on there, but it's actually, I think once you put this thing on there, it's going to be on there pretty hard. It's got a little track system that it slides on. It's held in place by 3 screws. So let's go ahead and install those 3 screws. So it uses a screw through the back, and then it uses 2 smaller screws that go through the side. There we go. There's one. There's the other one. Okay, and as you can see, I mean, that's held in place by 3 screws, and it's bolted to this block of aluminum that's attached to the body in between the grip frame. So that's definitely not going anywhere. And then now what we'll do is let's go ahead and take out the stock. Now when I see this kit, actually, you know, for me personally, I never like having a stock and a tank. There's too much back there at once. Probably if I was going to run this with the stock, probably what I would do is I would remove the ASA and then run my remote line right in through the bottom, right through the regulator. But that's just me. So let's go ahead and put this in. It's going to take a little bit of a balancing act here. And actually what's kind of nice is on the stock itself, there's actually an indexing. Let me go ahead and remove it really quick and show you. There's a notch cut into this, or a notch right here in the stock, and there's also a piece of metal right here that it's basically indexes the stock, and there's also a notch cut into here. So once you have this on here, it doesn't, let me get it on there properly. There you go. Once it's on there, it's not going to allow the stock to twist. So it's just going to index it right into place, which is actually kind of nice because you don't want to go out there, you know, stock all sideways and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and lay it back down. There we go. And then now these screws go in through the bottom. Okay. There we go. And you see, once that's on there, that's not going anywhere. So, cool. So we got that in place. Let's go ahead and install the regulator. There we go. The regulator's in place. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to install the side rails. Now you've got a couple different places you can put this. You can either put this up front like how you normally see it in the picture, or you can put it further back. So it's just up to you. I'd just say let's just go ahead and make it look like it does in the picture. So now you're given multiple screws here. You got 4 screws to install this here. So let's go ahead and put all of the put them both in. There we go. So now we've got the rails on both sides, and now let's go ahead and let's install the barrel on the front. There we go. So we've got the Angel completely put together. And as you see, we got the this is the prototype Apex barrel on here. And let me go ahead and get my scale really quick, and we'll weigh this, because I know that's going to be a pretty big question. How much does this weigh with all of the accessories on here? Okay, so let's go ahead and weigh it. Got the scale all zeroed out here. Let's drop that on there. Looks like it's all on there. And we press hold. Okay, it weighs in 3 pounds, 12.8 ounces. 3 pounds, 12.8 ounces for the fly with the tactical stock kit, and also the Apex barrel, CP regulator, and also the ASA. But like I said, if this was if this was something that I was going to use in the woods, I'd probably remove the ASA just to save the weight. And then what I would do is I would run my remote line directly into the bottom of the ASA right here. I think that'd be a nice and lightweight configuration. So hopefully that helps. Thanks for tuning in.